Hello, and welcome to the Woo Woo Gypsy Podcast. I'm Taylor, your host. This week's book will be Gratitude by Melody Beattie. I actually looked up how to pronounce that because it looks like Beattie, but I looked it up. It's Beattie. The book is 88 pages, and it's from 1992. I usually don't do older books, but this one caught my attention. So I snagged it. I also didn't notice when I grabbed it that it is excerpts from her other books regarding codependency. So if that's something you're into, look her up. This one, however, was gratitude. All of the little gratitude excerpts from those books that she wrote. Just right off the top too, in case you're like me, she does reference God in this book. Personally, for me, whenever I see this, I just swap that with universe in my head. But you do you, whatever you choose, whatever your preference is. She begins the book talking about gratitude and the lack thereof, which is deprivation, and how we could be depriving ourselves of things that we deserve. Think about it. When was the last time you told yourself that you didn't deserve something, or there wasn't enough of something to go around and make its way to you? A lot of times this makes me think of money and time. Always thinking that there's not enough money to go around. Oh, well, I don't do XYZ, so I don't deserve XYZ, and I don't deserve this money. Like, it takes all this and I don't do that. Whatever, what have you, or there's just not enough time and I don't deserve to make time for myself if you're a busy parent, or to, what I'm talking about. But we've got to put an end to this deprived thinking. And there is enough of whatever you want to go around, and you do deserve it. Always remember that. And when you have deprived thinking, you're like building up a wall to all the things, all the amazing things that could be for you. You're in your own way. Step out of the way. And this can be one of the hardest things that you do. It was for me. And it took me a while of trying different things, educating myself. That's why I've been reading all of these books, getting into the woo-woo and the self-help and all that good shit. And I'm still going through it. But I'm getting better, and reminding myself and learning different ways to remind myself that I do deserve the world, and it's okay. It's not selfish. An easy way to start: practice gratitude. So simple, so easy to say thank you. It's the biggest part of gratitude. You don't have to be all toxic positivity, fake it till you make it. Feel your feelings, then step back and find the good in your experiences. Find the good out of whatever shit situation that the universe threw at you. There's always something to be grateful for. Sometimes you have to dig a little bit, but usually something good comes out of the bad. She mentions affirmations as another way to get out of deprived thinking. And this is another super easy way to start because there's so many affirmation podcasts out there. You don't even necessarily have to come up with your own. You can go find somebody who has come up with them for you regarding whatever subject you want. My personal favorite podcast for affirmations is Habits of a Goddess. She has some amazing ones. And as I listen to her episodes, if I find ones that I specifically resonate with, or that I think maybe I'll resonate with, or that I just like, I put them in a folder so that I can come back to them and have them as like my favorite affirmations folder, because she does some amazing ones. Recently, since I've been getting back into affirmations, my son wanted to randomly start listening to affirmations again, and I'm not sure if he heard me listening to mine, because me and him used to listen to the Snoop Dogg ones on YouTube all the time, and he wanted to listen to him again randomly. I'm like, did he hear me listening to mine, or did he pick up on that wavelength that I wanted to start listening with him again, because I drop him off at school some days, and the pickup line, I'm like, I should really start playing those Snoop Dogg affirmations while we're waiting, or not the pickup line, the drop off line. And I was thinking I should start playing those affirmations. I'm like, did he pick up on that? Because I didn't say anything to him yet, but I thought that was a cute little thing to add in here about affirmations. She also reminds us that affirmations aren't to ignore problems, but to inspire you to find solutions in a way that's nurturing, more so than telling yourself, like, you have to do this. And she says to, quote, pay your dues. Bitch, you don't have to pay your dues. You're fine. That's some bullshit. Next, remember to nurture yourself. Create that loving bond with yourself. At the end of the day, it's just you living inside that brain and body of yours, so you might as well love every inch of it, or start learning to love every inch of it. Maybe go little bits at a time. As a second-time mother going through postpartum, I understand that can be very fucking hard to do, and it might be, or might seem, impossible, and it is if you allow it to be. So just take those small steps, okay? Because I know it can be tough. If you love yourself, then you can take more and more steps forwards, and you can spread that love outwards. You can inspire other people to love themselves. And if you are a mother, you know that your kids are always watching you, or father. You know that your kids are always watching you. And I was doing this thing because I still have like 25 pounds of baby weight from having my kiddo. I used to weigh about 100 pounds, and I'm only 5 foot, so that looked fine on me. Trust me. And I was eating plenty. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so I'm at like 125 about now, and not fitting into my clothes. And it's crazy because you wouldn't think that, just that little bit of weight wouldn't do much. But when you're only 5 foot, it makes you go up like I went up 8 pant sizes. That's fucking insane for just 25 pounds. Anyways, so I do this thing where I randomly go to one of the mirrors in the house, and I like pull up my shirt to look at my stomach and stare at it and see if I'm losing weight. I'm not even like doing anything to lose weight. I just check all the time. And I think this is subconsciously rubbed off on my children, because I've caught them now doing the same thing and then calling themselves fat. And like, I wasn't even saying anything when I looked in the mirror. I would just look in the mirror, and I probably just had like a look of disgust for my body on my face. So they probably picked up on that. And I've now challenged myself to look in the mirror and say something out loud so that they can hear, and say something positive as I'm looking at myself, because I don't want that shit rubbing off on them. They don't deserve that. Yeah. And even if you're not a mother, I challenge you to look at yourself in the mirror and say something positive. It can be tough, and sometimes you just don't believe yourself, but it'll eventually get better. I promise. And if you want more of a challenge, say something loud enough that someone else can hear what you're saying. Say something positive about yourself, and maybe somebody else will be like, Either they'll think you're crazy as fuck, or you will inspire them to do the same and maybe nurture themselves as well. In the show notes, I am going to provide my email. I always provide my email. So if you want a free list, I did work on a sheet of different things that you could do to nurture yourself. You can download it to your phone, make it your home screen on your phone or your laptop or tablet, iPad, send it to a friend, spread the positive word, use my list as inspiration or a starting point, and work from there. Don't feel like if you nurture yourself, you are undeserving of something else. Nurture your body, your mind, your soul, and you just may surprise yourself. She gives the example that she really wanted to take a nap, but she needed to clean. So she let herself rest for a few hours, then she woke up ready to clean. She cleaned that shit up and still had time to go out. She didn't say those words specifically, but and she, by allowing time to nurture herself, it didn't have to be negative. It didn't have to take away from her other obligations. So she backed up, took care of herself, and then got that ish done. Next, she hits on some self-discipline. To stick with the journey, focus on your goals, even when you're uncertain. You don't want to lose focus of the big picture, and remind yourself of the big picture and what you're trying to accomplish. Remember that your needs count. And most people don't believe this about themselves. We believe it about everybody else, but not ourselves. It's like when you look at your friend who has this gorgeous body, and maybe they're a little curvy, but they look so fucking good. But then you look in the mirror and you have a curvy body, but you're curvy in all the wrong places. No. You're curvy, and somebody else could look at you and be like, God damn, I want that body. So get on that journey of self and learn to identify what you need. Sorry, I just turned my phone off. The next thing in the book is probably my most favorite tidbit and the one big takeaway from this book. And she says, quote, "The formula is simple. In any given situation, detach and ask, what do I need to take care of myself?" End quote. Then you stop and listen to what your soul, your mind, your body tells you. And this can mean so many different things for different people in even the same situation. So an example, the situation, experiencing a recurring headache. Some people may need to take time away from technology. Maybe they're spending too much time on their phone. Somebody else might need to drink more water. They're not getting enough hydration in their day. Maybe somebody has to take medicine for it and they're not sticking to taking their medicine. Maybe you just need some sunshine. You've been stuck inside with some fucking fluorescents all day. Go outside, get that sun. Maybe you need to eat. You got ADHD. You're not paying attention. You got the shakes. It's time for you to go eat. And it'll help your headache. All right. Now, let's face the what ifs. For me, this is a huge one because I've always had anxiety, and after having my daughter, it's kind of turned into severe anxiety, so my mind is constantly a cycle of what ifs. Even just this morning, I was on the road and I was underneath this overpass and I was like, I don't like being in this spot on the road in this point, like underneath this overpass, because what if somebody flies off the highway and they go down that hill and they crash into me as I'm trying to get on the highway? Like, what the fuck? What is that? So we gotta shut that off. In that moment, we need to remind ourselves to like love ourselves, and that it's okay that these thoughts are coming in. They're valid. It's fine, but you're okay. Everything is gonna be okay. Give yourself a little hug. Let it go. And we have to accept our reality. The reality is I have severe fucking anxiety, so I'm going to love myself anyways and learn to work through that. She then states the stages of acceptance, or you may know them as the stages of grief. If you're not familiar, they are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. Personally, I didn't quite understand how those tied into gratitude. Like maybe, I don't know. Even thinking about it now, I can't think. But I wanted to add this in here because I thought maybe it would make sense to somebody else. And as always, I encourage you to read the book and maybe you can make more sense of it than I can. I could see how acceptance of things and maybe having to flow through those stages to get to that acceptance and be grateful makes sense. but I'm not sure exactly if that's what she meant. Again, these are excerpts from her other books about codependency and stuff like that, so I don't know if maybe it was more so regarding that. Unclear, not sure. Anyways, up next, she has goal setting. And she says, quote, "Goals are gratitude in action," end quote. And to turn everything into a goal. If you have a problem, make the solution a goal. I thought that was fucking brilliant. And then you write these goals down, revisit it, but don't dwell on them. The way she writes, it almost seems as if to write them down and let go and forget about them or just monitor them. I feel differently because I'm an avid fucking goal chaser and I want to see those goals. But I think maybe she, I don't know, I don't know. I think there should be an in-between. You should let your goals go and let the universe do its thing, but don't forget that you're responsible for creating change to accomplish those goals. You can't just rely on the universe and just write something down and expect something to happen and you not working towards it. You need to, make a plan to accomplish the goals, work at it, even if they're small incremental steps to reach that goal, and you got to chop it up like that, that's fine. But I don't believe that you could just write them down, tuck them in a drawer, forget about them, check on them, see what you've accomplished and what you haven't. If it's something you really want to do, I think you should be putting action into that so then the universe will align with those actions and get you that goal. You have to put in the energy to get the energy in return. That being said, though, I don't think you should dwell on them. I don't stare at them like every single day, but work at them chunk by chunk, piece by piece. Work with the universe. Don't expect it to all be done for you. Don't expect the universe to do all the work for you. Maybe say affirmations regarding these goals so that subconsciously that it will help you accomplish this goal and the goal will find you. I don't know. All right, so that is the end of that. I give this book a rating of, I had originally in my notes 3 out of 5, but when I was reading the book, I was thinking 4 out of 5. And then now after going through these notes, again, I feel like it should be 4 out of 5. And only point was, I think that I kind of forgot some of the things that I had learned from this book. And so rereading and going through my notes, I've kind of remembered. So I think it was just, I didn't think it stuck with me in a significant way, like maybe some of the other books that I've read have. But this is also 88 pages. So a lot of those other books, it's like it reiterates the same thing in different ways a lot of times. So it sticks in my brain a little bit more. But that being said, and the God references, because I had to switch those out for universe and I didn't want to do the extra work in my head. So, but not anything against her. But I'd say about 4 out of 5 stars. I also will be dropping an affirmation podcast episode 2. I know I didn't do a bonus episode for my ghost studies. I really wanted to, but I was really fucking sick. And I don't know if you could tell, but I've had to kind of clear my throat and stop. And I've had to stop recording and cough my ass off in between these takes. So I'm still kind of getting over that. But I will do another ghost episode, I promise. Because I would love to do some ghost stories on here and do some more ghosty shit. Okay, anyways, that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day and a great weekend. Sending you love and light. Also, here's some funny parts. Next, she hits on some self-discipline. What the fuck?